Hey guys, how's it going? It's Jewel Tolentino here, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons of selling on Amazon Canada using the FBA method. So if you don't know what FBA means, it means Fulfillment by Amazon, which basically you send in your shipment into Amazon, they put it in their warehouses, and when an item sells, they package it up for you and they ship it off to the customer and they deal with the customer service. That's kind of what FBA is in a really shortened version. So I myself sell in Amazon Canada, and I wanted to share both the good and the bad of Amazon FBA in Canada. All right, so I'm gonna pull out a little Word document here, and we're gonna start off with the cons and sort of the things that aren't so great, and then we're gonna end off strong with the pros. All right, so cons. First thing is the shipping costs are high, and these shipping costs are to the Amazon warehouses in Canada. So our shipping is quite expensive. Amazon in the US, they have a deal with UPS and it makes their shipping a lot cheaper. So if we were to live in the United States and we were to send something to the Amazon warehouses, it's ridiculously cheap. I envy their shipping. So one of the cons here in Canada is that our shipping is high, and how I deal with that is I try to find items that are higher in profit to cover these high shipping costs. So that is the first sort of negative, is the shipping costs in Canada are high. Hopefully sometime in the future, Amazon Canada will make a deal with one of the shipment people, and we'll be able to send in our products for a lot cheaper. So that's the first thing. All right, so the second thing is products can take longer to sell. So in my experience of selling both in Canada and in the US, products in the US move a lot faster than they do in Canada. So that's one of the observations that I've noticed in the two different countries. Third thing is there's not as much traffic in Amazon.ca. So by traffic, I mean people going to the Amazon.ca website. Generally, Canada our population is a lot smaller than the US. There's way more people in the United States, so it makes sense that Amazon in the US has a lot more traffic. Amazon.ca doesn't have as much traffic because we don't have as many people. We don't have as many people as there are in the United States, so that is a drawback. So those are sort of the three main things that kind of are a downer for Amazon.ca, but that doesn't mean that you can't make any money selling on Amazon in Canada. So now that we've got the crappy stuff out of the way, let's move on to the cool stuff. So, pros. All right, first one is there's not very much competition compared to the US. So in terms of, like, let's say you have a product, right? There's not going to be a whole bunch of people competing with you to sell that item, which is a good thing, because when you have a lot of people competing for one item, like in the United States, the price goes down, 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 because everyone's trying to beat the price of some other person. So in Amazon Canada, there's not much competition. There's a couple people, here and there that will sell the same products as you, and there in my experience, there hasn't been like a huge price war where we go down to $0, and I actually like that there's not much competition, because then I can price the item at whatever I want. All right, so the second thing is you can make a lot more profit per item. So this is a huge thing that I've noticed between Canada and the US. You can seriously jack up the prices in Canada, but you can't do that in the US because there are so many people selling that same item that you can't say, I'll just give you an example. I have this Power Rangers helmet. I bought it for $5.99. I'm selling it for $59.99. This Power Rangers helmet, there's no way that you can sell that helmet for $59.99 in the US. You'd probably sell it for between $19.99 and $24 just because of what the product is. But in Canada, you can totally raise the price like crazy. I noticed that the prices in Canada are much higher and people will actually pay. So I've sold this Power Rangers helmet 2 or 3 times now, and I've bought this item for $5.99 and I've sold it for $59.99. So you can see that the markup is huge. Generally speaking, you can't do those kinds of markups in the US. There are definitely some items that you can find that you can do that, but for the most part in Canada, you can do that with a lot of the items, which is a good thing for us who live in Canada. So the third item is it's easy to find high profit items. So what I mean by that is when I was first starting, I didn't know, I was really nervous because I didn't know if I could find any items that you could sell on Amazon in Canada, because all my friends were from the US and they didn't have any experience in Canada, and I was the only one that I knew that was doing Amazon FBA in Canada. So what I found was when I was getting out there, when I was shopping in Walmart and Superstore and Target and places like that, there are tons of items that you can find for high profits, like large profits, that you can send into Amazon Canada. So that's a really neat thing, is there's lots of products out there in Canada that you can send into Amazon. So the fourth cool thing about selling on Amazon in Canada is this is a great fun way to make some extra income. So I definitely have fun doing this because I grab my phone and I have the Amazon scanning app. I go into stores. I love scanning for items, finding them at a ridiculously cheap price, and knowing that I can sell them for much higher on Amazon in Canada is a very, very fun process to me. Something that you need to understand is when you've got your items, right? You've got your items and you package it and then you send it into the Amazon warehouse. Once it's at the warehouse, it's pretty much hands off from there. You no longer need to touch the product or do anything like that. When I send in a box full of products and they go live on the Amazon Canada website, I don't really do much else. I just get emails saying that, the item has sold and that Amazon Canada has shipped out the product to the customer for me. So pretty much once you've got it over that hump of packaging and shipping it, it's pretty much downhill from there. So I find this a great fun way to make some extra income. All right, so just to sum up Amazon FBA in Canada, both the pros and the cons. Okay, so let's just do a little summary here. The shipping costs are quite high in Canada, and how I get over that is I find products that sell for a higher profit. So I find products that are between the $10 to $20 profit range. So after Amazon takes their fee and the shipping costs take their fee and all that, everyone just takes their fees, I'm left with between $10 to $20 in profit. Obviously, if it's higher, if I'm making $50, $60, $70 profits, obviously I'm not going to just leave it between 10 and 20. That's sort of the minimum, but I will go above 20 oftentimes. So that is sort of the main thing, is the shipping costs are high, but you can get over that hurdle. As for the products taking a longer time to sell, that's where you want to do some research and research the popular products on Amazon and see the trends, what people are buying. I myself do research, and I sort of have a gauge now of what is going to sell and what isn't going to sell with all of the experience that I've had with buying and selling the products on Amazon. You kind of just have to test it out yourself. It's really difficult to say what is going to work and what isn't. You just really have to test it out yourself. That's what I did. I went out there, scanned a whole bunch of things from toys to kitchen appliances, furniture items, just anything really that I could scan that had a barcode in stores. I would just scan and try it out. There are things that I've sent in that haven't sold, but the majority is what I have sent in has sold, and don't worry about it taking a long time. One of the things that I do is I don't only sell on Amazon in Canada. Like I said, I sell on Amazon in the US. I also do drop shipping on eBay, and I also sell on Craigslist. So I'm not sitting around waiting for these Amazon FBA Canada sales. You know, I don't want to wait for the next sale so I can go and buy more product or anything like that. I go out once or twice a week, you know, depending on how busy I am, buy a bunch of products, ship it into the warehouses, and then there you go, that's doing its thing. And then while I'm doing that, I'm paying attention to Amazon in the US, I'm doing my drop shipping on eBay, and I'm also selling here locally on Craigslist. So I have a whole bunch of things going at once, and I'm not just only depending on Amazon in Canada to make me profits. So that is this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions down below about Amazon FBA selling in Canada. I'd love to help you guys out because, like I said, when I first started, there wasn't any resources and I basically had to learn by myself. So I'd love to help you guys out. Also, as a resource for you guys, I'm going to have a bunch of videos here pop up. These are other Amazon videos that I've created as a resource for you guys to help you guys out. Check them out. I go into tutorials and how to do things, how to scan, things like that. Alright guys, well thank you so much for watching. If we've helped you out in any way, please let us know by giving us a like, a comment, a subscribe. All that would be very much appreciated. Alright guys, well thank you so much and I'll see you in the next video.